In this lesson, we are looking at the idea of trophic levels, which refer to the different stages or levels found within a food chain. For example, in a simple food chain, grass would represent the first trophic level, a rabbit would be on the second trophic level, a snake would occupy the third trophic level, and finally, a hawk would be on the fourth trophic level. The very first trophic level is always a producer, and this includes organisms like green plants or algae. We call them producers because they are capable of making their own food using sunlight through the process known as photosynthesis. Essentially, they convert light energy from the sun into chemical energy stored in glucose, and this stored energy becomes the foundation for all the energy flow in the entire food chain. The second trophic level is made up of primary consumers. These are organisms that eat the producers, and we often refer to them as herbivores because they feed exclusively on plants and algae. Moving up to the third trophic level, we find the secondary consumers. These are animals that eat the herbivores and are generally carnivores, meaning they consume the flesh of other animals. Then we have the fourth trophic level, which includes the tertiary consumers. The word tertiary simply means third, so these organisms are at the third level of consumers and are also carnivores. This pattern can continue in more complex ecosystems, but most food chains rarely have more than 4 or 5 trophic levels. This is due to the fact that as energy is transferred from one level to the next, a large portion of it is lost, mainly through processes like heat loss, movement, and digestion. Because of this loss, there is not enough energy to support additional trophic levels. A common rule used in ecology is the 10% rule, which states that only about 10% of the energy available at one trophic level is passed on to the next level. For instance, if the producers store 1,000 joules of energy, then only around 100 joules would be passed to the herbivores at the second trophic level, approximately 10 joules to the secondary consumers at the third level, and just about 1 joule to the top predators at the fourth level. These top predators, which do not have any natural predators of their own, are called apex predators. There are, however, some organisms that do not fit neatly into this trophic level structure, such as omnivores like bears. Omnivores eat both producers, such as berries and plants, and other animals like fish or insects. Because they eat primary consumers, they are often placed at the third trophic level, although this is not an entirely accurate classification because they also consume producers. Another important group to mention are decomposers and detritivores. These include organisms like bacteria, fungi, and some small animals such as earthworms. They are responsible for breaking down dead plants and animals in the environment, a process known as decomposition. This recycling activity is vital as it allows nutrients to return to the soil, making them available once again for producers to use, thus continuing the cycle of life and energy within ecosystems. That covers the topic of trophic levels, and if you found this explanation helpful, thank you for listening and engaging with the material.